I'd like to recognize Ann Noonan, the Executive Director of the Committee to Support United States International Broadcasting, for 3 minutes for any comments she'd like to make.
Thank you very much for allowing me to make another presentation at a BBG open meeting. Hopefully, future meetings will allow more members of the public to also participate. I'd like to say that I was impressed by the fact that my first statement at the BBG triggered a personal attack on me in the Russian media. I'm happy that Russians could see grassroots American democracy in action, especially since I was not attacked by a supporter of Mr. Putin, but by a top American employee of Radio Liberty. Anyway, on behalf of CUSIB, we were very glad that RFE-RL acting president, Mr. Kevin Close, a distinguished journalist, was willing to meet in Moscow this week with Russian human rights leaders and fired Radio Liberty reporters. We're hopeful that Radio Liberty's experienced journalists, who had been dismissed by the previous management of RFE-RL, will be permitted to return, as urged by this year's Nobel Peace Prize nominee, Lyudmila Alexeyeva, and many other prominent Russian and American freedom and human rights leaders and experts. CUSIB is also hopeful that RFE-RL will revise its personnel policies and will settle overseas discrimination lawsuits brought by its former foreign employees in Prague, an Armenian citizen, Anna Karapetian, and a Croatian national, Snezhana Pelivan. I'd like to mention how honored I am to have traveled to D.C. with Ms. Jing Zhang, President of Women's Rights in China. Ms. Zhang's work includes help for child brides, for women who are threatened with forcible abortion, help for abandoned girl orphans, and efforts against trafficking of women and children. I'm sure Ms. Zhang can assure any who are uncertain that for millions of oppressed women around the world, BBG-funded news programs offer valuable information and hope. There are 2 other points that I'd like to mention about the importance of news flow to China and Tibet, especially for those who may assume that democracy and human rights are on the horizon. First, China's new leader, Xi Jinping, announced last month that he opposes reform and that there will be no change. But who knows? The other point is the importance of understanding the desperation of self-immolation in Tibet that has already risen past 100 lives. In response to the GOE report, CUSIB remains determined to defend surrogate broadcasters and the VOA at the same time. Both were clearly designed by Congress for very good reasons. Surrogate broadcasting has a special role to play as an alternative to suppressed internal media, and they can't do the job of Voice of America. By the same token, Congress created surrogate broadcasters because VOA has a different role. CUSIB strongly believes that we need them both. CUSIB remains ardently opposed to the OIG report attacking the authority of BBG members and the tremendous efforts of BBG Governor Ambassador Victor Ashe, who has made the agency relevant by insisting upon its adherence to its mission and good management. CUSIB is encouraged by BBG's latest efforts for better management and greater transparency and for resolving the Radio Liberty crisis in Russia. We extend our best wishes to RFE-RL employees and new acting president Kevin Close in connection with the approaching 60th anniversary of Radio Liberty. Radio Liberty in exile Russian and Russian human rights activists and opposition politicians are planning a major event in Moscow on March 1st to mark the anniversary. We hope that by then, fired journalists will already be part of Radio Liberty staff, and Russian human rights community will once again support this great media freedom institution. Thank you.
Thank you very much.